Boker Tov. Good morning. Today is Friday, September 23rd. Erev Shabbat, Parshat Nitzavim, the last Shabbos of the year. And that was the last shofar sounding of the season of Elul leading up to Rosh Hashanah. On Sunday, we won't sound the shofar. It's to separate between the time of the mitzvah and the time of this custom. Parshat Nitzavim begins with a discussion of all the people who are gathered to enter the covenant with God. And God goes out of his way, Moshe goes out of his way to describe the gathering. And here's the full list. Hold on, get the pasuk. Atem nitzavim hayom kolchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. You are standing today, all of you, before God, your Lord. Rashechem, Shivtechem, your heads and of your tribes. Ziknechem, Meshotrechem, your elders and your officials. Kol Ish Yisrael, every man of Israel. Tapchem Neshechem, your children and your wives. V'geiracha asher b'kerev machanecha, and the stranger who is in your midst. Michotei beitzecha ad shoev meimecha. From the one who draws who cuts your wood, who chops down your wood, ad shoev meimecha, to the one who gathers your water. That's a very unusual last reference. Why is it so unusual, my friends? Where is Moshe speaking to all these people, Ba'arvot Moab, the plains of Moab, before they've entered Israel? So it's a very strange reference point to talk about water carriers and schleppers and wood choppers. They've been in the desert all this time. So it could be that wood choppers, whenever they come into a little bit of a summer habitation, somebody was an expert in cutting down some bushes or something. But I didn't really expect that there would be much wood chopping going on, and there would be much of a profession of wood chopping. And I wouldn't have understood, what water schleppers are, unless that well which provided them water was in one place, and someone had people had a business where they went to the well and then schlepped it out to all of the different zones of the encampment of Israel. That's a possibility. So it's clear that there's an image here, other than a specific reference point to a defined group of people, and they are a different class, as it were, right? In the caste system of life that readers could in the future also comprehend, where you have the leader class, and then sort of the amcha, find a middle class of whatever, the bourgeoisie, and then you have this class of the workers, the people who do all the really difficult physical work. So everyone is part of this Brit, we're told. I want to share with you a very it's a very poignant point that's told of the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe, the Rashab, it's taken from Sipurei Chasidim, which tells the following, that a certain diamond merchant who was close to the Rebbe and was a very generous person, he sat down with the Rebbe one time. And he just said, the topic, sort of shifted to the discussion about the simple folk amongst them, where the Rebbe was always very generous to them and praising of them and uplifting them, right? Where the Rebbe gave them a great deal of honor. And he said, this fellow, I don't get it. I'm not understanding why are you doing such a going out of your way to give kavod to such folks. And so the Rebbe responded that they have many milas, right? They have lots of great milas, and said this fellow, his name is Ramunya Mosenson, he said, I don't see their milas. So the Rebbe said, the Rebbe was silent, according to the story. And they said, you know what? Let me see some of your schayra. Let me see some of your gems that you're carrying with you. And so he took out a cluster of a little bag full of, I'm imagining the way that dealers would carry in a napkin and a this and a that, a cloth, and he put them on the table, these gems, and very proudly of some of the fine gems he has. And the Rebbe looks at them and says, I don't see any difference between the gems. I don't see what's so significant about any of them. To which the diamond and the jewelry dealer looks at him and says, you have to be a bucky. You have to be someone who's an expert to know the fine differences between gems and what's so precious and what's not so precious. And the Rebbe stopped and he says, right. Sometimes you have to be a bucky, you have to be an expert to know, to be a meivin, to know the difference between people, and to be able to see qualities that I guess some people just can't really capture or can't find in another. You can't see it. I can see it, to the Rebbe. I see the qualities of every single one of these yidden, every single one. Whether they're water carriers or people who cut down wood, everyone has the Mila. What a precious message with which to go into these days ahead. Appreciating every single Jew, every single person who will be gathered with us in shul, the people in our larger orbit, the people that perhaps we've allowed ourselves to grow distant from, or to stop thinking about it with great value, comes along this teaching and says, no. Make yourself a meivin to appreciate each and every one. And may we indeed be blessed to enter this season with that appreciation. Have a Shabbat Shalom and a Shana Tova ahead.